Hello, my dear subscribers. Sun and Moon Rising. I'm Maria the Clairvoyant, and I'm gonna be doing a general reading for well, not a general reading. I'm sorry, a personality trait for each sign. With the sign, last but not least, is Pisces. I want you to know that I'm putting two cards. Some people use the highest priest for Pisces. And this, the moon, which I should also have put it, is also used by Cancer. So Cancer can be the moon also, as well as Pisces. So depending on whoever is reading your chart or which book you use, you guys can be represented by that. But mainly, it should be represented by the highest priest. Okay, but I'm gonna leave the moon here just in case some people do use the moon. And remember, this I'm doing these readings because I want you to understand a little bit more about your sign. Also, to understand your partner when you read these signs, I want you to understand a little bit of your partner if you want to read about your partner too. So with that said, I also want to tell you that there is a reason why we are born at a certain day and a certain time, is because the signs are here, and also because the time of the time that you are born is very important, because that's how we can get the chart. Your birth chart is based on the time, date, and but you know, if you have it, fine. If you don't, that's okay, because basically that's not going to change much. Okay, so you can have a better perspective of who you are, you know, to all of you, to all the signs. So Pisces, also you got to remember that we here to learn. There's something in our sign that we're here to teach or learn. So in this case, what is Pisces need to learn? Okay, let me I did all this writing because I gather all this information through reading certain books and analyzing everything. So Pisces, you're the moon, water. Like I said, some people has the higher presence, some people has the moon. Your sign starts in February 19th to March 20th. You're mutable, so this means that you can adapt to all the changes, opposed to the four fixed signs. They're very strong-minded and not willing to bend down to the rules, or it have to be their way or the highway. So even though, but there are times that they have, like I said, a little bit of other signs, so they tend to put themselves down at times. And Pisces is out with the old, in with the new. They believe in new beginnings. Their color is purple, violet. The day of the week is Thursday. The compatible signs for them is Virgo and Taurus. So a Taurus and a Pisces, or a Virgo and a Pisces, will be a very good match, love-wise. Not necessarily be the perfect match, because it all depends also on the negative and the positive. If you match a positive Pisces and a negative Virgo, this relationship may not happen. Okay, but if it's two positives or two negatives, they might match. So see that as that. With that said, Pisces are very compassionate, artistic, intuitive, wise, musical, and they like to be being alone. They like to sleep a lot. They like music. They like romance. They like visual media. They like swimming, and they're very spiritual. So that's why I brought the highest priest, because some Pisces are very spiritual. They tend to absorb a lot of the energy from the humanity. Um, it's like some of them don't even want to be here. They feel like this earth is so chaotic that they feel that they're very sensitive to humanity. The negative part of Pisces, because if they're very soul, they kind of like the highest breeds, that they protect themselves, the spiritual, the physical body. But because if they feel, Pisces feels that humanity is so corrupted, um, they and if they were involved in certain situations, the negative part is that they will be involved in drugs. They might be a very timid sign. A guy might not approach a woman. It will take a long time. Timid within themselves. They could be failures with their life, with their marriages. They could be unsettled. They tend to have like anxiety attacks. Um, they tend to like not decide of what they want to do. Sometimes they help other people, similar to Aquarius, without expecting anything in return. But as time goes by and they feel like they have been used or whatever, they hold back a lot, because they feel like they do. And when there is their time of need, um, they they're the ones that don't, they help, like they don't get the help that they need from the other person, probably with their partner. If they have a partner and they feel that the partner doesn't help them whenever they need help, they start becoming more isolated to themselves and they held back. They are very intuitive and they're ruled by Neptune. So they're connected with music. um, Pisces is a very faithful sign. So Pisces is one of the faithful signs that you can ever have. They're not as promiscuous as Leo and Scorpio, and Sagittarius are the most promiscuous signs, which they won't, when they do something, they will do all kinds of crazy stuff. They they understand more of the life cycles that we live. They're very emotional when it comes to relationship and others. Like a Pisces will truly love that person, that human being, that they will do go to the end. Also similar to Cancers and Aries are very much protected to their relationships. They're very reserved, they're very courage. When things get rough, Pisces could go away and hide. Okay, so they're the opposite of like Virgo, that they like to criticize. They don't like to criticize. um they also, they very indecisive and sometimes they're very unhappy. Pisces is one of the signs that is very, very, very unhappy. However, if they choose or they put their mind to it, they could be a very high medium. They have a very high tendency to be mediums and spiritists also. Okay, if they negative, they can get into drug related situations. Okay, but that's almost in every sign. Any sign that has a negative in it will fall into drugs, alcohol, anxiety, anything similar to the other sides. And they will get involved with temptation stuff. That's what I say the word promiscuous, because they will do that. But if like I said, when a sign is very faithful, could be very faithful, they could also manifest the negative part of it. And some of them are very soft spoken, um, and Pisces is a kind of healing and healers. Okay, those are Pisces. They're very sensitive and they're very spiritual involved. They love the whole part of humanity. So, and they tend, what they need to learn is to be uh, conforming. And what I was also saying is that when I'm sorry that I had to make a little stump, Pisces, but Virgo is very, very critical to other people, and opposed to Pisces, they're very real. They don't like to criticize other people, and they have ability to heal. They could be good counselors. Pisces can be good counselors. They could work in hospitals, mental institutions, rehab centers. They need to be a little bit more warrior type, fight for what they believe, which is the next sign. They have to learn that from Aries. The Aries is the warrior sign, so they need to learn that, because sometimes when it comes to Pisces, people step all over them because of that part of who they are. If they are not in the higher vibration, they tend to be very addicted to drugs or alcohol, like I said before, and they go up to, when it comes to love life, they stick around above and beyond that person. They stick around, as well as Aries and Pisces has very, very connected in that. They stick with their partner to the end. They will fight for their partner. They're very much they're basically the center of the wheel, of how the wheel moves everything around. That's who Pisces is. It's like the spiritual center. They're very spiritualized. As they could easily be priests. They can easily be a healer, a shaman, something to that, something connected with the spirit world. They are also like to meditate in nature. They like the spiritual nature. They like they're influenced by the planets and the power of the planets. They're very decision making. They can influence someone to do what needs to be done. That's why they could be a good counselors, because they help influence that person to go on the right path. With all that said, Pisces, I feel that this is a very good description about you guys. Very spiritual oriented, and if you're not spiritual, because what's going on in the world bothers you, you could become a very disoriented person in this planet because you don't like what you see. But with all that said, remember that you need to have the warrior of a spirit of, or learn to be as a warrior as Aries is, and fight for what you believe. Basically, being that you're the last sign of the zodiac, that means for some people you're living your last life. So that's why Pisces, as well as Scorpio, tend to look older than their age group. So because you're actually already lived all the signs, and this is the life you're living. And you can learn to be fun as well as Aquarius are very free spirit, very spiritual. They're spiritual, intuitive, but they like to have fun. When they do decide that this is what they like, they love to fulfill that fun 100%. So they need to learn from Aquarius to enjoy life And from Pisces to be warrior and don't let people manipulate them and step all over them. You are the last of the water signs and represented by the moon or the highest priest. So with that said, Pisces, love and light, this is Maria the Clairvoyant, and I hope this description can help you understand a little bit about who you are, some of the traits of your sign, and also understand your partner if you're listening to this video for your partner. And if you wanted a specific reading, feel free to contact me at mariatheclamboyant.com. Take care. Bye-bye. I'll see you in the next video.